Alright guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the RBP Ultimate Drum Kit. Before I begin, I want to let you guys know this is going to be kind of like an old school type video. Starting with the two pieces in front of me where I used to, open the boxes and show you the stuff in here. But we got to talk about some stuff, about some differences, starting with the stands you see in front of me. And then we'll, as usual, we'll go back. I'll tell you about the prices, everything that comes with it, and so on and so forth. So let's begin. Here is your typical ion drum rocker stand right here. And this is the RBP stand, Ultimate Drum Stand. And let me show you what the differences are. First of all, as you can noticeably see, the drum stand that comes with the RBP, or the drum rack, I should say, that comes with the RBP Ultimate Drum Kit is taller than the ion drum rocker stand. That's because the right and the left legs are higher. The center bar, as you can see, is longer on the Ultimate RBP stand than it is on the ion drum rocker stand. Also, it's sturdier because of what you see right here in your view, which is stabilizers there, and there's also one here on the left leg. Now what that's going to do, if you had if you've had this happen to you, it's happened to me, where your ion drum rocker stand becomes loose and all of a sudden the whole drum stand collapses. Well, this bracket here, or this stabilizer here and there on the foot, on the left leg, is going to prevent that from actually happening. So even if the screws came loose, your drum stand or your drum rack is not going to fall completely over. The other thing too is you can't really see them all that well, but instead of using drum screws, they actually do use Allen screws on here. So like I said, try to show that you can't see them all that well, but that is because of the fact that they, for a rack like this, tighten better than drum screws. They're not going to come loose as quickly. Also, let's take a look at the arms on the RBP Ultimate stand versus the arms here on the ion drum rocker. On the ion drum rocker stand, you have two arms, as you can see here, one on the left side, which typically you would sit your snare on. Then you have one over here on my right side, which you would put a tom and probably a cymbal, and also, in my case, where that bracket is right there, I had my drum rocker brain there. So your other two pads would go here on the center bar. Now, if you've tried to put three drums or anything else on the center bar, you would notice that it's very cramped on the ion drum rocker stand. Here, if you take a good look, you see one of my clamps is hanging there. I did have a cymbal there, but it was very tight. In this case, on the Ultimate RBP drum rack, you have two arms here on the left. The one on your top is going to be for you to mount your hi-hat cymbal as well as another cymbal, and you can also mount right here on this clip the drum brain that's going to come with it, which is the DD502 MK2 drum module. Also, you can probably throw another clap on here over this side if you really wanted to, and go ahead and add your ion drum rocker brain on that this side as well. Below it, the little rack, or the little arm, I should say, is where your snare would go. That's why you only see one clip. That's specifically for your snare drum alone. And then over here on the right hand side, you have one more arm that has two clips now. One for your floor tom, and then one that you can mount a cymbal. So therefore, this is what's going to add a little bit more stabilization, and also is going to reduce a lot of the crosstalk, because unlike on the ion drum rocker stand, where everything, as you can see, is kind of clumped together, your cymbals is going to be, you have to have cymbals on the same rack sometimes to make it work right, and they crosstalk. You can have everything here individually. So you have one arm here for your cymbals and your module, one arm here for your snare drum, one arm over here that you can mount your floor tom, and also further up the arm, because the arm is longer, you can have your cymbal, your craft cymbal, or your ride cymbal right here, your green cymbal right here, and it shouldn't interfere too much. Once again, I don't know if I said this already, but on this center bar being so long, I can mount three toms here. So if you decide that you want to get an extra Mylar pad or whatever, you can mount three across here and one down here, and plug it in any way that you wish to do that. So I just wanted to give you guys your differences on the stands. I know my shot isn't wide enough, but you can see the comparison there between the ion drum rocker stand on my right and the RBP Ultimate drum rack on my left. Just the noticeable differences in the height. So for all of my taller players as well, this is going to help you guys tremendously because of the fact that the rack isn't so short anymore, and you should be able to adjust that. Just to point out, I have done nothing to the height of these stands. Anyone who owns an Ion Drum Rocker knows that you cannot adjust the height of the stand at all. It is the height that it is. Well, it's the same case with the RBP Ultimate Drum Rack. So if you say that it looks like an Ion Drum Rack, yes, it does look very similar, but the difference is, again, stabilizer here in the middle, stabilizer here on the feet. Let me get around this so you can see that really good. Stabilizer there on the left leg to make sure that your drum set does not collapse. Add stability, and we're cut out crosstalk. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and switch this off. I'm going to actually put together now my brand new RBP Ultimate Drum Kit, and we're going to come back and show you what that looks like. So here it is, the RBP Ultimate Drum Kit, all completely set up with everything you're going to get. Now I've added an extra cymbal, which is the one here on the left above the hi-hat. I'm going to Y-split that in there as an extra blue cymbal, so therefore I don't have to reach all the way across to do a blue open hi-hat hit when you're playing the game. So again, we'll do a quick walkthrough. At the bottom here, you get the kick rocker pedal, or the kick rocker along with the pedal. Then you get the hi-hat pedal. The Roadie kick box is right there. Then what you have over here is you do have the OSP DD502 MK2 brain. This is for you to trigger your real drum sounds with. And then right below that, we have the Ion Drum Rocker Xbox 360 brain, along with the 4 pads that you also receive with Excel pads. And then you get 3 of the 4 cymbals that you see here. So the 4 cymbal over here that you see right here, it's just an extra added idea for you. If you want to pick up an extra cymbal, you have extra cymbals laying around your house. But this is how I have my kit set up at the moment. It is completely wired at this point for it to go into the Xbox 360. I have wired it and tested it out with my DD502. I'm also going to be Y-splitting that. So this is why it's important to have these two things here close together, because I'm going to Y-split it so that my Xbox 360 side and my DD502 side works great, so that I don't have to plug and unplug wires. So once again, this is what it all looks like. It all works great. If you can probably tell, the stand's a little higher, like I did point out. And so now that you've seen it, what we're going to do is go ahead and shoot the final part of this review, where we always talk about the pricing of what this is going to cost, everything else that goes along with it, and go from there. Thank you very much. See you in a bit.